launch your membership in the follow-up.
Perfect. Perfect. Yay. Hi, friends. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so excited to see you. Hi, Jules.
Hi, I made it.
You made it. Look about you. You're nailing it.
Trying.
Yay. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Mallory. Hi, Katie.
Hey, Hally.
Hi. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have 8 people registered, so a couple people might jump in late. But I am so glad you guys are with us. So tonight is going to be super fun. What I want you to do, if you haven't yet, is while we're doing the intro, I want you to download the EWG app on your phone. Anna's going to put that in the chat. And then I also, if you're like on your computer or on your phone, I want you to wander around your house, but I want you to grab like 3 to 5 things, household products. You can grab dishwasher soap or dishwasher detergent or Lysol wipes, like just grab 3 to 5 things that are kind of common household things that you use on a regular basis. And we're gonna kind of play with those kind of towards the end. So go ahead and grab those. Outline for our evening. We are going to, first I'm going to share my screen. Boom. So goal of tonight is to talk about how to create a toxin-free household. Our outline, we're going to review kind of the top 6 toxins that you might not have thought about. We're going to talk about what a toxin is and what it does. And then we're going to play. So we're going to think about some things that we have in our house and if we need to swap them out immediately or eventually or never. We're just going to get to play and have some workshop time. And then I'm going to introduce my friend Jules and let her talk just a little bit about herself and her mission, because what she does is amazing and it's super cool to have her on here tonight. So she is truly an expert in endocrine disruptors and toxins. So we're super excited for that. And then I just want to preface this whole workshop with this whole conversation about creating a toxin-free household can be enormously overwhelming, especially when we think about how many things we use on a daily basis, how many things we put on our skin, our dishwasher detergent and our dishwasher soap and our laundry detergent and all of these things. And so I want you guys to come at this with the posture of knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more choices you can make. And you don't have to create a toxin-free household tomorrow. This is a process that can take weeks and days and years to fully swap stuff out. And it's also a learning process. Learning how to use, non-toxic cleaner is a different process than just using Kaboom and Lysol. So if you get the tendency to get overwhelmed, just take a deep breath and know that knowledge is power and we're here. And then please feel free to unmute, ask me a question at any time. This is a workshop format, not a lecture. So you guys are here for you and for yourselves, and please engage. So we're going to start with ditch and switch. So 6 common household things that you're probably not thinking about that are causing potentially major issues. So the first one is liquid fabrics, softeners, and dyes. This is something that we don't think about at all because we don't think about the toxins that we're putting in our laundry machine as affecting our body, right? We just put them in the laundry machine and it washes our clothes and then they wash off and we're done. That's actually not true at all. Those toxins, which most commercial laundry detergent, so Dawn and you name it, contain benzyl acetate, ethanol, and chloroform. And what happens is that those chemicals are actually, fascinatingly enough, not water soluble. And so they get in all of your clothing fabric, your pants, your bras, your underwear. And then what we do, our skin is the largest organ in our body. And it is the number one way for toxins to get into our body. The way toxins get into our body, or we can breathe them in, we can eat them, or we can rub them on our skin. And so we're using these toxic chemical detergents. Those things are getting on our clothes, that like delicious, fresh after laundry smell. That's a toxin that you are now wearing and sweating in and rubbing into your skin all day and all night. And especially in the winter when we're covered from neck to toe, you are literally exposing as much of your body surface as you possibly can to those toxins. The issues that are related to those toxins are things like Alzheimer's disease, central nervous system disorders, multiple sclerosis, and then those are endocrine disruptors, which means they disrupt our hormonal system. So they increase estrogen and phytoestrogens, they decrease testosterone, they just mess up the whole thing. So the ditch and switch is to ditch those chemical detergents, switch to wool dryer balls. Super easy. They actually work brilliantly, and you don't have to continually buy fabric softener and dryer sheets. And all of these are linked. So we're going to send you this PDF at the end of this as well. And you can just click on that and it'll take you straight to a link, or you can go to Amazon. We don't care. But wool dryer balls are a fantastic way to significantly reduce chemicals in your life. And then switching out to some kind of non-toxic, fragrance-free laundry detergent, again, another great way to do it. So that's your first one, laundry detergent and fabric softeners. Second one is candles. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to mention that is the number one reason people come to see me with like contact dermatitis. You know, they'll get rashes on their face, and the number one cause is the dryer sheets.
Yep, totally. I remember, this is crazy. I'm so glad you said that. When I was little, man, maybe 5 or 6, I had super sensitive skin when I was a kid, and I got bags of hand-me-downs. It was like the coolest thing ever. I would get 6 bags of brand new clothes on my porch, and it was so exciting. And I remember one time they came and they smelled like laundry, and I thought that was super exciting because my parents are hippies and use all the good stuff, right? So my laundry never smelled good. And I was so excited by this outfit, and I put it on, and my dad and I went for a walk, and I didn't make it 2 blocks before I broke out in hives, and I was covered in hives like neck to toe, every single inch of my body. And I think that's really interesting because as we grow, you know, as adults, we have a larger capacity to process toxins than a baby does. That's why it's so important to really be toxin free if you're pregnant or nursing, or for infants. But just because we have a greater capacity to process toxins doesn't mean we should be. So I'm so glad you said that. That's a super interesting one. Okay, so number 2 is candles, commercial air fresheners, and aerosols. Again, we are so committed to things smelling good, and we completely miss the fact that these are poisoning us every single day in our house. So candle wicks often contain lead. Unless it says lead-free candle wick, it probably contains lead. Waxes often contain paraffin wax, which releases a known human carcinogen called benzene. When it burns, it turns into a carcinogen. Commercial air fresheners contain VOCs, volatile organic compounds. If you guys have followed anything about the East Palestine, Ohio train crash, the reason that has been so deadly is because of the VOCs that have been released into the air. And that has been at such a high level that, you know, chickens are dying and fish are dying and humans are getting really sick. But those are the same things that are being released from your Glade plug-in air freshener every day, all day in your house. Phthalates, I don't ever know how to pronounce that, are also believed to impede male hormone production, which can cause male infertility and also increase estrogen in males, which does all sorts of bad things because males are supposed to have testosterone. So related issues to those, toxic use around children can lead to behavioral issues. A lot of times when we see kids dealing with ADHD or anger issues or like operational defiance, if we remove air fresheners and aerosols from the home, those kind of behaviors actually decrease. It causes hormone disruption, headaches, brain fog, and higher risks of lung disease. You're breathing toxins all day long. So quit it. How do they affect you? The air you breathe, right? It's nice to Febreze after you poop, but that poop smell will go away. So just like let it be and it'll be fine. So some ditch and switch options: get rid of those candles, get rid of Febreze. These things people tend to think are a safer option. They are so chemical full. If you smell like an actual essential oil and then you smell that immediately after, you'll smell all of the chemicals in it, and it's just diffusing that into your house. So better options are diffusers with essential oils. Using unscented beeswax candles, you're still burning something, but at least you're burning something that's not releasing toxins. Chemical-free essential oil mists, those are all great ditch and switch. Number 3, plastic. Frozen dinner trays, plastic storage containers, plastic wrap, and food. Plastic that is not officially BPA free contains BPA. And what BPA is it's an endocrine disruptor that creates fake estrogen in our bodies, both male and female. And so what that does is it's been linked to infertility issues. Oh, I should write that. It's been linked to fertility. That should say issues. I wrote this today, by the way. Behavioral issues, faster physical development in girls as we've seen plastic increase in our lives. We've seen girls develop and go through puberty earlier and earlier and earlier. And that is not a good thing. It also means that they're later in life going through menopause earlier. When we're seeing women go through menopause at 30, that often has to do with the BPA and hormone disruptors that they're exposed to all the time. It's linked to both breast cancer in women and prostate cancer in men and other hormone related disorders, including weight gain and resistant weight loss. Plastic is an unstable solid. So what that means is it leaches chemicals into anything it touches. And from research, we know that BPAs, oh man, I have spelling error there too. I'll fix this before we send it out. We know that BPAs can leach in as little as 5 minutes into food. So you put something in your plastic bag and it is contaminated with BPA within 5 minutes, but we leave stuff in those plastic bags for days and days and days. And then we microwave in those things. And when we add heat to plastic, it leaches even faster. So ditch and switch, get rid of your plastic bags, get rid of your plastic storage containers, get rid of your plastic wrap. Swap out to silicone reusable bags. They're great. You can put them in the dishwasher, glass storage containers, and beeswax food wrap. Super easy, super inexpensive ditch and switch. Over the course of about 3 years, you will pay for this multiple times over because you're not continually buying this. So fantastic eco-friendly option, but also really good body-friendly option. Number 4, bathroom and household cleaners and furniture polish. This is one of those things where, again, if you're sensitive to toxins and you walk into someone's house who's just Lysoled the living daylights out of their house, like you walk in, it's like, oh, okay. Household cleaners, most of them, so Clorox and Kaboom and these big ones, contain formaldehyde. Who wants that? That is what you preserve the frogs with in 8th grade when you're dissecting them. Nitrobenzene, methane chloride, aerosols, detergents and fragrant polish release VOCs, that same thing that we talked about before. And the last, VOCs such as terpenes, actually react with ozone indoors to form formaldehyde. So if it doesn't have formaldehyde within it, it's reacting with the ozone in your house or the ozone that you're spraying out of that bottle, and it's creating formaldehyde. Related issues to that are carcinogens, reproductive and hormone disorders, asthma inducers, and weight gain resistant weight loss. How do we get exposed to these? This one is huge because it's a triple whammy. So the first way we get exposed to them is we're breathing them in when we're using them. When we are cleaning our house, we are absorbing those toxins, breathing them in. Even if you kind of like wipe like this, you're still breathing them in. And then most of those have a decomposition time of days and weeks, which means you're still breathing in those chemicals days after you cleaned. The second one is you absorb them through your skin. So anytime you touch a surface that was wiped with a Lysol wipe, or anytime you cut on a surface, you're absorbing those through your skin. If you're walking barefoot on your floor, you're absorbing those through your skin, especially if you have babies and babies are crawling around on the floor, they're absorbing that through their skin. And then we absorb it by eating it because we're putting those things on cooking surfaces. And now our food is touching that and we're eating it. Babies especially will crawl on the floor and then stick their hand in their mouth. You might as well have just fed them a Lysol wipe. So ditch any brand name cleaner. If it has a brand name, throw it out. Great alternatives are microfiber cleaning cloths that have antibacterial silver in them. Even just a normal microfiber cloth is great. Switching to non-toxic, antibacterial, non-toxic natural cleaners, and we have a bunch. If you are new to our membership or you're on with us tonight and you don't have a membership with us, we are actually sending out some of these products, some of our favorites, in our quarterly wellness box, which is coming out in April. So if you don't have a box on your membership yet, make sure you add one because we're going to send you a bunch of our favorites and help you save some money. Okay, number 5, pesticides and mosquito repellent. I put these together because a mosquito is a pest. And I wanted to have 6. It just felt like a nice round number. But the reality is they do the same thing. Bug killers, if it's a bug killer, so this is not an herbicide, a plant killer, this is a bug killer. Bugs have many of the same systems that we have as humans. So if we are putting something on a bug that kills it, It is doing that same thing in our body. We just have more cells and we can handle it better. Oh, there's another typo. So these things are found on the surfaces of produce that we are non-organic, and we slather it on our skin every summer. Related issues, this really could have been 2 paragraphs, but fertility issues, behavior issues, cancer, genetic mutations in adults, genetic mutations in fetuses, and developmental disorders in children. Huge deal. This is not just like, it's nice to buy organic. This is almost like a life or death thing. So if you can, ditch non-organic food, ditch DEET and toxic mosquito repellents, opt for a natural plant-based mosquito repellent. This is the most natural that I know, and it works pretty well. This one is moderately natural, but it is still in the orange on the EWG, so it's not on the red, and it works great. And then use organic food. We gave you a link here to the clean 15 and the dirty 30. So if finances are hard for you and going all organic isn't an option, the clean 15 and the dirty 30 can help you prioritize which fruits and vegetables are the most crucial to buy organic and which ones you can kind of get away from. But the more you can do that, the better. And then this one is one that people never think about. It's PVC and vinyl. PVC and vinyl is actually banned in the European Union and Japan because it is so toxic. And yet we still find it in shower curtains, in garden hoses, in fake leather products. This is huge in. If you can think about that new car smell, or if you've ever opened a new shower curtain and gone like, whoa, that is stinky. That is some of the most toxic chemicals leaching out of that you can expose yourself to. These are the same chemicals that were released in that train derailment that literally killed half the town. These are related to infertility, cancer, weight gain, weight resistance, and lung disease. So what can you do? If you are going to switch your floors out, go for real hardwood. Don't put in vinyl. If you live in a house that has vinyl and you're able to switch the floors out, or that's something that you are looking to do, go ahead and do it. Instead of getting, vinyl shower curtains, go for cotton or linen or hemp, something like that, that can help. And if you do have to get a vinyl shower curtain, open it, put it outside in the sun for a week and let it off gas before you bring it into your house. So those are kind of our top categories. Now we're going to talk about what makes a product toxic. The EWG, which is the app that we use, they're a great nonprofit. They're not perfect, but they're a great nonprofit that does a lot of good work. And their rating for household products goes from 0 to 10. 7, 8, 9, 10 mean, throw it out immediately. 3, 4, 5, 6 is like maybe finish it and then find a better product. 0, 1, 2 are you probably have a safe product. The way that they create this ranking is based on 14 categories of toxins, not just 14 toxins, but 14 categories. We're going to whip through the categories. Each of these categories probably have 100 to 150 different toxins in them. But these are kind of the things that they look for to determine if something is actually safe for a human or not. So those toxins, and I'm going to whip through this, I'll let you read this later, but are carcinogen toxins that cause developmental and reproductive issues, toxins that cause allergies and immunotoxicity. This is huge. We're seeing such a rise in autoimmune diseases, especially even in our Live Nourished community. We have a lot of people coming to us for this. Toxins are a huge piece of that. If your body is constantly fighting a foreign invader in the form of a Lysol wipe, it's going to get confused at some point. Use restrictions, that means that it's not allowed in cosmetics, but sometimes they put it in lotion. Like these companies get around these rules in all kinds of crazy ways. Or if it's banned in another country, but we think it's okay in the United States, I'll get to that in a little bit. Neurotoxicity, that means it harms your nerves, your brain stem. Organ system toxicity, that means your liver, your kidneys, your stomach, all of those things. Biochemical or cellular level changes. This is what we were talking about above. The chemicals that we are exposed to can literally change our DNA. That's what cancer actually is. Cancer in a human body is the DNA has lost its ability to kill a cell. It's called apoptosis. And that's a genetic change that happens in adults. Ecotoxicity, that means it's bad for the environment. Irritation, that's, what I got with hives when I was a little kid. So it makes your skin itchy, or what Jules was talking about, it causes acne or rashes on your face. Occupational hazards, that means that the people who are using that product, that chemical to make this product, are at a high risk, which if they're at a high risk and then they're putting it in your product, you are also at a high risk. Enhanced skin absorption, that means, so our skin absorbs everything. We say at Live Nourished, if you wouldn't eat it, don't put it on your skin. But enhanced skin absorption, there are some substances that your skin absorbs more easily, and that's not a good thing. And then contamination concerns. So ingredients that are contaminated with toxic impurities, for example, essential oils that you would buy in the store are a great option. Lavender specifically, like lavender, that's a great natural product, but if it's not processed correctly, it's going to be infused with a ton of chemicals. Decaf coffee is another great example. We're not talking about coffee tonight, but decaf coffee, the way they decaffeinate it most of the time is they run it through this crazy bath of bleach and then a whole bunch of other chemicals. Yeah, I see your face. Gross.
Yeah.
That's how they detoxify it. And it's a total joke to think that that's coming out. So we're drinking bleach. So if you're going to do decaf coffee, you want to look for water wash or Swiss washed, which still has caffeine because you can't get it all out. So now we're going to play. If you already have the EWG app on your phone, go ahead and open it. If you're willing to turn your screen on, go ahead and do that. I'll kind of get us started, but you can scan this code to download it, or you can click the link in the chat. And then this is kind of what we're looking for. So if you scan a product and it comes up green, that is a great product. Keep that product. If you scan a product and it comes up in the orange, so again, orange back up here is 3 to 6. That's a product that's not terrible, but you can probably find a better one. So, go ahead and use that until you're out of it. And then when you're out of it, go find a better alternative. If you scan something and it shows up in the red, that is something that I would highly recommend you just throw out right now and go find something else that's better. Exposing yourself to that level of toxins for even one more day probably isn't worth it. So yay. Hi, Mallory. Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple and then I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. So you guys can see. So this is one that my husband and I just laughed about. I sent him out one time to get dishwasher detergent, and I didn't give him any other instructions, and he doesn't live in my brain. So he came home with Dawn dishwasher detergent. I had EWG open. He's in the back talking, and it was Cascade. Okay, great. It was Cascade dishwasher detergent. And before I even opened the box, I was like, oh my gosh, I can smell that. So Cascade. So we're going to put that into the app. Here is what we came home with. This guy right here. Hold on, let me click it. Click, please. Maybe not. Okay, well, I'll just show you that. Came home and it was an F. So that's a huge one, because what you're putting on your dishes, just like what you're putting on your clothes, it doesn't get washed off. You're going to eat that. If you're eating off the plate, you're eating that residue. So that's what he got. So I very lovingly made him take it back. And this is what we replaced it with, 7th generation, which if I scan that guy comes up with an A. And you can see in all of those categories, that's green. So that's a great product. We're going to do a couple more. We're going to talk a little bit later about greenwashing. And so I brought you guys an example of greenwashing. So we have the Clorox bleach wipes, which I still have left over from COVID. And then we have the 7th generation disinfecting wipes. Like, obviously these are better, right? Okay, so I'm just going to have you guys guess. Feel free to unmute. What do you think the Clorox bleach wipes are going to come up as? And EWG has recently changed it to A, B, C, or D, but just go ahead and shout it out. What do you think?
D or F.
Okay. Yellow. This doesn't have a thing on it. Clorox. There we go. Okay, so here's my Clorox bleach wipes, and they come up. Why won't it let me click? It was letting me click earlier. Well, okay, fine. Those come up as a D. So that means it probably has endocrine disruptors. It probably has carcinogens in it. It probably has some sort of developmental thing in it. So now we're going to say, okay, well, obviously the 7th generation ones are better. So we're going to scan those. What do you guys think those are going to come up as before I show you?
I've been scanning mine, so I kind of know because I use them.
I know. D.
Yeah.
Those come up as a D. They're not actually better. So one of the things that we have in this PDF for you guys is the concept of greenwashing, which I'm just going to show that to you. And then we're going to play some more. So greenwashing is exactly what 7th generation does. And we just showed you like brand to brand. These guys came back with an A, same brand, A, D. Like you have to be intentional yourself. So this is what greenwashing is. A term to describe the marketing tactics used by big name fast fashion companies to advertise their new supposedly sustainable line of clothing, or the process of conveying false information and providing misleading information about how a company's products are more environmentally sound. This looks great, right? Like it's got a leaf on it. It says 7th generation. It says botanical disinfectant. Like, ooh, that sounds fancy. Made from essential oils. It still gets a D. Like I might as well use Clorox wipes. It's actually not any better. So I have a bunch of stuff to share with you, but I want you guys, do you guys have anything with you that you want to scan and look at? Or do you want me to keep going?
I just scanned this lotion that I use.
Ooh, okay. Hemps. What did it come up with?
An 8. It doesn't
Okay.
it's not giving me the letter.
Mine might have updated. So it comes up with an 8. What does it tell us about it?
So, okay, it just looks like, I don't know if you can see.
Okay, yep. So if you scroll down, so those, yep, stop right there. Nope, right there. So those bars, so it's all the way in the red on allergy. So it's a high allergen. Cancer, it's in the green, so that's fine. Developmental risks, it's in the red. So then look at the ingredients. I can't read those on our screen, but maybe click like 2 of the red ingredients and tell us what it says about them. What it is and what it says about them.
So the first one's retinol palmitate. Vitamin A. But it probably is not good.
What does it say about it?
It says data from an FDA study indicate that retinol palmitate, when applied to the skin in the presence of sunlight, may speed the development of skin tumors and lesions. Norwegian and German health agencies have raised a concern that daily skin application of vitamin A creams may contribute to excessive vitamin A intake for pregnant women and other populations.
Interesting.
So more, sensitive to the sun, I guess. And then there is a fragrance in this one that's in the red.
Fragrance is almost always going to be in the red. Jules might be able to speak to this better, but fragrance, like added fragrance, is a chemical that is almost molecularly identical to hormones. And so it's an immediate endocrine disruptor.
Wow, I need to stop using this.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, go ahead, Jules.
I was just going to say the retinol palmitate is what you guys have probably all been hearing about is all the rage retinol, all these retinol creams and whatever. And while it is vitamin A, it does cause sun sensitivity. And because it breaks down the top layer of your skin, it makes you more susceptible to UV rays. So if you're not using it in conjunction with a sunscreen, you can have basal cell cancer and you can develop all of those skin cancers.
Yeah, pretty gnarly. So I just scanned this one. So you guys know Myers brand, right? Total, like super clean, healthy brand. Okay. So I scanned it and mine came up with a D. And then I just decided to look at that particular brand, and almost all of them are like D's and F's, like in the red. The only ones that came up are the bathroom cleaner. So that's a B. Bathroom cleaners is safe, and the dryer sheets are safe. Everything else, hand soap, fabric softener, laundry detergent, dish detergent, all-purpose cleaner, everything else is coming up as a D. And then I also got this one, right? Because this one is a super fancy one. I actually haven't scanned this one. and I'm a little nervous. So let's scan this one. Hold on. How do I get out? Filter, go away. Ah! Oh no, I made it mad. Hold on. Okay, so everyone hand soap, super fancy. So we're gonna scan that guy. Boom. Okay, so this one isn't terrible. So this one actually came up EWG certified. So that little thing in the top corner, that is a green one. So what does it have? It has in the red on the allergy, it's in the green on cancer, it's on the green on developmental. So, okay, cool. I'm going to read a little bit about this. So one of the things that came up a little bit high is called benzyl alcohol. So I'm going to click on that. High allergy concern, potential use restrictions, but no cancer concerns, no developmental concerns. About benzyl alcohol is a naturally occurring and synthetic ingredient used as a solvent and preventative and preservative. It has been associated with contact allergy. So, okay, this one might cause allergies, but it's not going to poison me. This one came up red in all the categories. So like, that's a super easy swap. Do any of you guys have anything else that you want to scan and look at with us while we're here? And then I'm going to toss it to Jules for a minute.
Is hair as absorbent as skin? I feel like that's a dumb question, but
That's a great question. Hair itself isn't absorbent. Like if you put something on the tips of your hair, you're not going to absorb that through your skin, but your hair is going to brush on your neck. It's going to brush on your skin. And especially like shampoo, I brought this one. This is from our Airbnb to show you if you're like rubbing it into your scalp, like shampoo, it's the same thing as putting lotion on your skin. So just for fun, that's a great question. We'll scan this guy, scan Pantene. That shockingly actually came up as a 4. So that's super interesting. So this would be in the category of like, okay, use it till it's gone and then get rid of it. Its biggest pieces are allergy and fragrance. The bummer about that is it came up red in the fragrance. So you can see like the number up here is the average, but then I'm looking down here at what they're pulling from the average. And it has 2 things. Oh, except that it just went away. It has 2 things that are in the red. So even though its average is a 4, it still has 2 things in the red. And I know that red means cancer causing and hormone disruptor. So even though its average came out okay, that's still not something that I want to use. I try to use no products that have anything in the red. It's impossible to hit that goal, or maybe it is possible. I just haven't hit it yet. But I would still probably stop using this immediately because I know that it has something in the red. Versus this guy also came up with a couple things in the orange, but nothing is in the red. That's a great question. Do you guys have any other questions, or do you want to scan anything before we pop back to our talk for a minute?
I don't have a question, but I was going to say not every like item is on the app. So something you can do is if like you're curious and there's like an ingredient you can't pronounce, what I do is I just look up the ingredient, because like a lot of the products I could buy are like at Sprouts and they're not in the app. So I'll like look up the ingredient to see, because if I don't know what it is and it's not on there, then I don't want to just buy it anyways. But you can normally look up the ingredient and you can see whether the ingredient's like a red or whatever, if there's an ingredient that's you're not sure is good.
Anna, it's like I told you to do that, except that I didn't. That is a perfect segue into our next piece of the conversation, which is even if you don't have the app, give bottles a quick scan. So this is part of what's going to be, we're going to give you guys a little wallet card in our member box so that you can keep it in your wallet. And if you don't have your phone with you or you don't have your app, you can pull it out. These are a handful of ingredients. And remember, you know, we had 14 categories up here. I don't even have 14 ingredients listed. So this is not a comprehensive list, but these are kind of your absolute high flyers that are going to be in that red, that if you flip something around, you can just look at. So fragrance is that number 1. I know it's awesome to smell good. It is not awesome for your body. So fragrance, formaldehyde, paraformaldehyde, methylene glycol, cordyceram 15, mercury, dibuterol, diethylexyl phthalates. A lot of times you'll see shampoos and conditioners that say free of phthalates, free of parabens. that's a really good thing to see, I would still scan it, because that is part of what greenwashing is they'll say it's free of something, but they'll have something else in it. Long chain per and polyfucoalka substance known as PFAs. This one shows up a lot actually in nonstick pots and pans. PFAs, PFOAs, that's a huge carcinogen, so that's something to watch out for. And then M and A phthalate used hair dyes. Just be careful of those. Marina and I did a day, we went to Walmart and we looked at a couple of, what do you call them? Dry shampoos, right? Which dry shampoo, like it's not really absorbing into your skin. Both of them have isobutyrol in it, which is like a known carcinogen, and you're spraying it into the hair and then breathing it. So bad news bears. And then just a couple last things. Don't rely on FDA regulations. Like our country in particular, we are one of the least protected countries when it comes to our bodies and what we put on it. The FDA approves all of these. Every single one of these is FDA approved. And every single one of these has direct links to everything we talked about above: reproductive issues, cancer issues. This is a map of what countries restrict ingredients. Notice the USA is not one of them. So if you're buying products from Canada, or you're buying products from Europe, or you're buying products from Australia, you still want to use your brain. You don't want to just, guarantee that it's okay, but it's going to be a lot better than buying a product from the US, unfortunately, or from China or from Africa, because we don't care. Just a fun thing. These are some food products that are banned in other countries. These products here are banned in Europe. They're banned in Japan. They're banned in Switzerland. They're banned in Australia and in New Zealand because they are so toxic. And these are things that Americans are buying literally every day. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of our favorite resources, and then I'm going to toss it to Jules for about 5 minutes just to drop some knowledge on us. So in this, we have a bunch of stuff from doTERRA, fantastic products, all clean, safe for babies, safe for humans. And we put together a cart page for you that has everything in it. So you can go look at shampoo and toilet cleaner and all of that stuff. Simple body products. So I'm going to toss this to Jules. Jules is a friend. She's a Colorado Springs local who was totally infuriated by the fact that she could not find any products that didn't have endocrine disruptors that weren't under $300. And so she started a company, which is awesome. And so I'm going to toss it to her here for about 5 minutes, just for her to share kind of her journey and what got her here and what her products are. So Jules, stage is yours, my friend.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. And all of this resonates with me because I talk to people every single day about all of this stuff, and brilliantly done. It can be very overwhelming, to sort of tackle the toxins in your house. But I'll just tell a brief story of how I got to Simple Body. And that is mainly because my mother, who was very young, she was about 62 at the time, she was experiencing Alzheimer-like symptoms. She had brain fog, memory loss, confusion, and a long story short, she ended up having heavy metal poisoning or an overexposure to aluminum chloride. So she had been using antiperspirant for years and years and years. And over time, the plaque, went through her liver and ended up on her brain and was causing all of these terrible symptoms. And so that's what led me to study formulating and natural products. And again, I couldn't find anything that worked with this Colorado dry climate on my skin. And I couldn't find anything that I felt was like truly clean. I wanted to be able to read an ingredient label and know and understand every single ingredient that was in it.
No way.
Yeah. I was like, why is this such a mystery? Like reading these ingredient labels. And 13 years ago, EWG was just a baby organization. And so we didn't have all of these great tools and resources that we have today. And so I wanted to formulate products with, ingredients that I could pronounce and that I knew what they were and that were edible. And it's so funny that you said that, Haley, because almost every one of our ingredient labels says, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your body, because your skin is absorbing everything that you put on it. So the other thing that was infuriating to me was that when I would go into Whole Foods, I'd take my little list with me and I'd start to like look at all of these ingredients and really break them down. And I just could not find clean ingredients that were up to European or Japanese standards. And so I found back in the day, I found 2 products that really met those standards, but they were just so expensive. And I was thinking to myself, how can the average woman like afford to buy these products? So one of our missions at Simple Body is to keep everything affordable. And so we have developed a full line of skincare, and we do in-store skincare consultations because I know how confusing it can be to look for products that are clean, that work, that are right for your skin type. So we do these in-store skincare consultations to help people transition their products into something more clean that works with their skin type. And it's a completely free consultation, and it gives people the ability to like try our products before they commit to buying anything. So we have like a full range of products. The first product, of course, that I created was a natural deodorant. And it took me 2.5 years to finalize the formulation for that. But it is a natural deodorant that works. It is still our #1 selling product 13 years later. But that is one of those products that can be really difficult to transition. And I know every conversation I have with people in the store is around natural deodorant and how many they've tried and how sticky they are, or how they make them smell, or how they don't work. So believe me, I know what a mystery, transitioning to natural products can be. And one other thing I did want to just piggyback on is that you're not going to see our products in EWG, and a lot of small brands are not going to be on there. And that is because they do charge $455 per SKU per month to be in the app. Yeah,
wow.
it's crazy. And they are a nonprofit organization, but obviously they have a lot of expenses related to running the app and running the website. So I get it. But what a great point that was brought up is that you can simply type in the ingredients, and pull it up, and it'll tell you what the rating for that ingredient is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I also do have a PDF that I give to my customers to, take with them, and as they're on the hunt for different products. So if any of you are interested, you can drop your email in the chat and I'd be happy to send it to you. The European Union just added about 32 ingredients last November, and they're constantly adding ingredients. And that's because a lot of the labs that are developing these chemicals, what will happen is, they'll get on a banned list for this one particular chemical, and then they'll change 1 or 2 molecules and they'll call it something different, and they'll keep adding it. And then until the European Union catches up with them, that it's just 1 molecule change, they just keep reformulating the same ingredient with the different molecules. So that's why the list is just continuing to grow. It's really, and I will say something that just recently came out in the United States is there's something called the MOCRA laws, which is the Cosmetic Regulatory Agency. And the first time in 38 years, Biden signed into law at December 31st of last year, an updated 50-page MOCRA law. So it's going to require all people that are manufacturing cosmetics to register as a manufacturer, which is sort of good and bad, because I think about all the small soap manufacturers and things. There's quite a fee behind getting signed up and registered. And then every single product that you manufacture is going to be required to be registered, and a fee, so that they can, get a list of all the ingredients that are in your products. But I think in the end, it will help sort of filter out some of the ones that are using, toxic ingredients and things in their products.
Yeah, man, well said. And I think what you said too about these brands are just changing 1 molecule speaks so much to the, we have to be self-focused on what's okay with us and what's not okay with us. Because
Yeah.
like if you can't read the ingredient, probably don't use it, whether it's on the list or not. I think that's really well said. So yeah, I highly go check out Jules. They do free facials. Like take her up on that. Go check out her products. She's truly amazing. And man, when Jules and I first met, we were joking about this. Over my lifetime, I have probably spent, I would not be shocked if it's north of $2,000 cumulatively on attempting to find natural deodorants that work. Like I have tried all of them. That is a hard thing to do, and Jules has done it. So even if that's the only thing that you do, the link to her stuff is in this PDF. So we'll send that to you as well. So you can go straight to her, and she ships stuff nationwide, right? Nationwide. Yeah. So you guys
yeah. Across the world now, we now have our biggest fan is in New Zealand. I got a note from got a note from a woman today in New Zealand who was like, "You have a lifelong customer," and she paid $70 in shipping to get her products. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing. So yeah. So go ahead.
And I guess one other thing I will mention is that years and years ago, I had a ton of my customers want to start, making their own household cleaners and things with essential oils, but they were, price prohibitive through doTERRA and Young Living. So we do sell a line of essential oils that are basically like at our cost plus $2 just for shipping, so that we can get oils to people very affordably. So we have a full range of oils, and we can teach you how to make your own household cleaner too if you come in the store.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the spray bottles and everything. So
cool. Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys go check out Jules's store, order those products. And then just to wrap it up, these links will also be in the PDF, but this is a lifelong learning process. The target is always changing. What is toxic and what is not is always changing. So these are just a couple resources for you. This is a deep dive on pesticides. There's a ton. Glyphosate is one of the most known ones. That's Roundup. But there's a bunch of others. One called Asotropyl something has been known to turn male frogs into female frogs, and that is sprayed on your lettuce. So take some time to dig in deeper and learn more. This is a deep dive on pesticides. This is some EPA safe cleaning products, which I think EWG is a higher standard than the EPA, but these are a little bit more affordable. This is the EWG home guide, which is a really cool guide. It'll take you through, cosmetic products, household products, all of that. And then this is a great resource to learn about the effects that plastics have on your body. And then talk with your coach, like book a call with your coach, have a conversation about where to start. And remember, this is a one step at a time journey. Like maybe this month you swap out your Lysol wipes for a more natural cleaning product. And then the month after that, you run out of shampoo. And so you buy a new shampoo. And then the month after that, you run out of your facial products. And so you go see Jules. Like you don't have to do this all tomorrow because we are adults and our bodies do have the ability to process toxins. And this is not going to kill us tomorrow. So there's no fear in this. But it's also a cumulative thing. We can either accumulate more and more, or we can accumulate less and less. And so I hope this empowers you to accumulate less and less, and also to connect, what is happening in your body to what you are putting on your skin. And then I just want to show you guys one last thing. We talk about this a lot with our weight loss clients, and I had it pulled up, and of course I closed it. Today, my computer just stopped, which was exciting. And so I had to shut everything down. But one of the things that we talk about with our weight loss clients is this connection to toxins. Let me find this real quick. If you have a large exposure to toxins, which most of us do, walking down the street, you're going to breathe car exhaust. That's toxins. We're never going to be free of toxins. We can reduce our toxic load, but we're never going to be free of it. One of the things that we talk about with our clients a lot, especially with weight loss clients, is how your fat is an organ. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a really beautiful thing. And it is protecting your body from toxins. Those toxins get housed in your fat cells, and your fat keeps your body safe and releases those toxins at a rate that your liver and your kidneys can process. If it releases it faster, you overwhelm your kidneys and your liver. And so a lot of times here, I did it. Excellent. So a lot of times what happens is we see what we call a toxic rebound effect. So someone who's trying to lose weight loses a lot of fat really quickly or a lot of fat slowly, but they don't include getting rid of toxins. That's why dieting has this crazy rebound effect. I actually like, hold on, I like this picture better. And then what happens is your body freaks out because your body, which is trying to keep you safe, like your fat has a purpose. It's trying to keep you safe, goes, oh no, we're not okay. I need more dilution to these toxins. And so your fat cells go, and you actually gain back more than you lost. Versus if you're working on losing weight while you're working on clearing toxins out of your body, you're going to have significantly more success over the long term. You're going to significantly reduce that rebound effect, and you're going to give your body the support that it needs. And interestingly, our research now shows that this effect is true for physical toxins, the stuff that we're putting in and on and around our bodies, as well for emotional toxins. Your fat stores toxic emotions like pain and anger and fear and all of those things. So it sounds really woo-woo, but it's not. If you're working on losing weight, working through healing your emotions and releasing those toxic emotions and getting rid of toxins out of your body and getting rid of toxins out of your life is a huge help. So that is it. That is our workshop for today. My hope is that that gives you a tool in your tool belt for living nourished and making some changes. Again, make them slowly, talk with your coach. But that's all we got, unless you guys have questions. Do you guys have any questions that I can answer before I send you off back to your evenings?
Can I just ask really quick if nitrogen washed coffee is any better?
Ooh, I actually don't know that. Let's Google it.
That's what this says from Trader Joe's, my decaf. And I was like, oh.
Nitrogen flushed. Yeah, I used to work in coffee. Actually, I'm a huge coffee junkie. I mean, I would say it's definitely better than the formaldehyde soaked, but it's not as good as Swiss water processed.
Okay.
That's a great answer. Thank you, Jules. I was Googling that.
Yeah, no problem.
Again.
Yeah, they nitrogen flush it to try to extend the shelf life of it. Are you buying ground coffee?
This one is the whole beans.
Okay.
But
yeah, they try. It's like a life extender, but if you can avoid that, I would.
yes.
Yeah. A little thing on Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. They have fantastic, organic, low-cost stuff, but they are professional at greenwashing stuff. Like Trader Joe's basically invented greenwashing. If you go down their cosmetic and their, like their household products aisle, almost everything ranks at like an 8, 9, or a 10. But it's Trader Joe's, so it's really good. Like their processed foods, like rank it at 8, 9, or 10. Like I love Trader Joe's for their produce and kind of the outside of the store because they have inexpensive options, but don't get tricked by their marketing and their labeling because they are professional at it. Yeah. That's a great question. Yeah. Thanks for asking that, Mallory.
I also just read it's washed by glacier water too, decaffeinated. So.
Excellent.
Okay. Good
We're doing
example.
both.
At least it's not bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mallory, you should look at Bulletproof coffee. Bulletproof coffee does a really good job. Theirs is water washed and chemical free, and they're super, super into that. And then if you want caffeinated coffee, our partner who you get a discount with, Buff Brew, they have all mold free coffee. So those two brands, and I keep trying to get Buff Brew to do decaf, and they're just like not there yet as a company. But yeah, those two brands are really good.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, good question. What other questions come up for you guys? Is there a good fruit or vegetable wash to remove pesticides? Soaking it in apple cider vinegar and water is decent. There's one that you can get at Whole Foods called Veggie Wash. That one's also decent. Honestly, soaking it in apple cider vinegar is probably better. But what I would do is I would look at the clean 15 and the dirty 30, things like strawberries and tomatoes, really porous fruit and vegetables, and then fruit and vegetables with really thin skin. Even soaking it in apple cider vinegar, you can't get it off because it's soaked into every single crevice. Things like asparagus and oranges and what else hits the clean 15? Brussels sprouts, cabbages that you can take the outside off. Those you can kind of get away with doing inorganic. I would still try to move towards organic, because even soaking it in apple cider vinegar, you're not going to get it all off. But if you can do, the dirty 30, do those things all organic, and then the clean 15, wash them in apple cider vinegar or the fruit and veggie wash, that's totally fine. Anna says Thieves cleaner from Young Living is a multi-purpose cleaner that can be used on food. That's also true. And every ingredient in that is edible and also helps boost your immune system. So that's a double win. Yeah, really good question. What else comes up for you guys? Cool. So I will leave you with this. If you're going to go switch anything right now, I would go switch the things that you put on your skin every day. Go look at your hand soap, go look at your lotion, go look at your facial products, because those things are soaking into your skin every single day. Then the next thing I would do is I would tackle your dish detergent, because you're eating that every single day. And then I would tackle your cleaning detergent. Cleaning detergent is by far the most toxic, but you are less exposed to it because you're not cleaning your house every day. So if you're going to go in an order, think about the things that you are putting on your skin every day. Then think about the things that you are eating off of your dish soap, your dish detergent, and then think about the things that you are cleaning with. And take your time, process, learn, ask questions. Do you know about Truly Free laundry detergent? Anna, I do not know about that. Is that one of the things that's like, it's the paper thing?
I think some of them are like that. I don't know. There's like a bunch of people that I follow that do a lot of like cleaner living stuff. And that's like the top one that people use, but it's not on like the WG app because it's like a smaller company, I think.
Oh man. Let's Google it real quick. Truly Free. Here's another thing. We talked about this in the supplement workshop too. If it is advertised or if you're seeing it on social media a lot, run. Because those tend to be, they're putting money behind advertising instead of putting money behind it being clean. Okay, it looks like it's on Amazon. So let's look at this. And I'll share my screen with you guys. And this is what I do. Like, I don't have answers for everything. And if I don't have an answer for it, I just go look it up. Okay, Truly Free. Is this what it is?
Yeah, that's it.
What we got here? Okay, dyes, chlorine, fillers, phosphate. I like that. It's free of a lot of things. Can we find the actual ingredients? No. Come here. Hello. This is what my computer's been doing all day, guys. I literally, like, it wouldn't even shut down earlier. Okay. So a lot of this is advertising, which raises a little bit of a red flag. Like, it's not telling me what's actually in it. It's just giving me advertising things. So this I like. Can we find an ingredient? Small business brand. I like that. Gives me other stuff. I don't know. I mean, if it really truly is free of these things, that's a great start. Like, that at least moves it down from red to orange. And then I think you'd have to buy it and look at the ingredients on the back and do a little bit more of a deep dive. But this would be something that at the very least would fall into the orange. I would be careful to try to get a fragrance-free one. Because it says it's, signature scent. Like that, if it's a fragrance, that's going to put it into the red, but it doesn't look like a horrible one. Yeah, good question. Cool. All right, team. Well, we are at 8 o'clock. Thank you guys so much for spending an hour of your Thursday evening with us. It means so much to me. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to reach out with any questions that come up through this process. Meet with your coach. Go check out Jules. and live nourished. You guys, will see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.